Now, there's something of a race against the clock in the fledgling opposition party, the PDP. Leaders of the party have been meeting in emergency session in Abuja to try to ratchet down the crisis and prevent the party from falling apart as it continues to grapple with an internal conflict that's been lingering for nearly 3 years. Amid fears that the PDP has completely lost its once powerful edge, the danger intensified recently with the welter of defections to the ruling APC party. To further complicate matters, there was considerable shock when the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, whose open alignment with the APC and support for President Tinubu continues to bewilder many and who is seen as a looming threat, turned up at the meeting. Meanwhile, his bruised and battered political enemy, the suspended PDP governor of Rivers State, was noticeably absent and was heard to have said at another gathering that he's no longer interested in going back to govern Rivers State and that his spirit has left. So how much does what is happening in both Rivers State and the PDP tell us about the powerful mystique that Mr. Wike appears to have? Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by Senator George Sekibo, who represented Rivers East Senatorial District in the National Assembly and who is a leading member of the PDP. Thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you, my brother. Thank you.
Great to see you. What's your reaction, first of all, and assessment of what Governor Fubara said?
We heard him said that his spirit has left Rivers State Government House since. We knew. Those of us who were in opposition to him, we knew that it was not him that was governing the state. It were other political elites who were around him and dictating to him what to say at every point in time.
And who might those people be?
Well, I cannot mention their names here. You see them around him. Whenever you open a clip on when they are doing commissioning or something, you will see the lineup there. They are the people imposing on him to be sure that the quarrel between him and Nyesom Wike continues. As long as that quarrel continues and it seems to be like people who are salvaging him, who are supporting him, who are fighting for him, then likely they will be having some largesse from him. I think so, some largesse from him. And that is why he has just been. Otherwise, if a Supreme Court gave a judgment, you don't have any option to go to any other place. You just start implementing it. And then you are not implementing. And we are still making conditions. They will tell you, do like this, do this, and they keep on just doing those ones.
And none of that had anything to do with Nyesom Wike?
No, nothing. Nyesom Wike is not the judge. They were in court. And after a protracted process from the High Court to the Appeal Court to the Supreme Court, judgment has been handed down. What he ought to have done, as soon as that judgment comes in, if he were a politician, a trained politician, is to immediately see how he can make contact with the members of the House of Assembly.
Well, he did try.
He didn't try. He didn't do it.
He did.
He didn't do it.
Yeah.
He didn't do it. I would say he didn't do it. See, if you want to appear before the National Assembly, for instance, Mr. President want to appear before the National Assembly, you don't just draft down there and then go and wait at the gate for them to call you in. You want a visitor.
Well, he wrote to them.
He wrote.
Anyway, I don't want to belabor that
I'm coming.
because it's all water under a bridge.
Yeah, but let me just say something.
Yeah.
He wrote a letter a day before to the assembly. He is not sure whether they have received the letter. They ought to reply him. When you write, they're supposed to reply you. We are ready for you to come. We wait for you, and they will send their system to receive him at the gate.
Anyway, as I said, let's move on.
Okay,
because we all know, it's all water under a bridge now. I mean, how much you understand a lot of Rivers State politics. How much do you think Sim Fubara's support will suffer a decline as a result of what he said, that his spirit has left Government House and that in effect he's no longer interested, in governing Rivers State? Would supporters be justified in turning their backs on him?
Well, if he himself is turning his back on them, what do you expect? They will move away as well. And it's free. They can move away. If truly his spirit has left government house, Rivers people will be so happy. Let him put in a resignation. He doesn't want to be governor of Rivers State. That brings the peace, all the peace we are looking for. We just go. Because even if he comes back, follow the legitimate and legal or constitutional processes. He will not follow. He doesn't read the Constitution. I don't think he reads the Constitution. He just walk by what people tells him to do. Do it like this, do it like that. And to be a governor of a state or a president of a country, the Constitution is a radar. It guards you in the decision you take, in whatever you do, and the instant laws. Now, in his own case, that doesn't bother him. He doesn't even have respect for the Supreme Court of Nigeria.
And what about but he didn't tell the people in the State Assembly to carpet cross to another party and announce publicly that they've carpet crossed and even swear affidavits to that effect, and then suddenly decide later on, when it didn't seem to favor them, that they're no longer, they didn't defect any further. I mean, as I said, I don't want to belabor this point, because all that argument,
so what do I believe
it's all water under a bridge.
Should I believe in the investigation of the courts and also the Supreme Court and their decision, or believe in rumors or what people just talk about on the street?
I don't know what you mean by rumors.
By rumor, I mean people just talking around the street without knowing the detail of the issue. You said, how do you resign from a party? How do you become a citizen of a country? If I go to Ghana today now, and I go to a public park or wherever, and then I have a flag and I wave it, and I say I'm a Ghanaian from today, am I a Ghanaian? I'm not a Ghanaian. There is a process to become a member of a country, a citizen of a country. In the political participation, there are also processes to become a member of a political party. For instance, I'm a member of PDP. If I want to leave PDP to another political party, I will write to my ward chairman, and then what if I have anything that is in my possession, hand it over to them, and then they will not I will copy the state and all that. Before I go to a new political party, register myself in the same ward, in my own locality, get the membership card of the party, and then maybe I'm going to do public show of the party receiving me, or I just remain there as a member of the party. If these processes are not taken, and maybe you see people on the television or somewhere that we have done something like this, and they believe that they have moved from that party, one party to another party, it's a fallacy. And they didn't move. They didn't truly move in terms of really moving. They didn't really move.
Well, let's, as I said, let's move on from that. I mean, it sounds like he's given the green light, I'm talking about Fubara, to his enemies to go ahead and topple him from power, and that he's voluntarily relinquished his place as a symbol of democratic resistance.
No, he's making a mistake. Do you know he's making a big mistake? Nyesom Wike, the minister, said he's ready for peace. He has met him. Two of them have met, so we heard. They've met. And he has told him, thank God you came. All right, you know that I'm not the only one that voted into this power. When he left us, he left every person. So C, A, B, C, and D. Of course, Nyesom is not a superman, he's a human being.
Yes.
He's a political leader. But you see, other people are also working with him. He can't do all the things alone. That is why he said, look, also go and meet this. And these people, Fubara knew all of them. He knows all of them. So it is a simple thing. He knows who to meet first, who to meet second, and all that. Maybe within a night or 2 days, he will have met with all of them, and then the meetings will be called. What do we do? He was part of us now. So we sit down and discuss and say, okay, let's go ahead. But I don't know why he doesn't want to do that one. And then he's not saying that his spirit has left government house. How can you take a people in a train, move them to a pond, and say your spirit has left you? How will they feel? Even we like I said, Nyesom Wike need peace. He need peace. That is a state he loves so much, and he did so much for that state. So he needs peace as well. Now, because he needs peace, that's why he gave him the audience. He knew they were coming to see him with him, and he opened the door for them, embraced them. They sat down, they discussed.
Right.
But from after that day till now, Fubara has not taken the next step. So he doesn't actually need a peace, or maybe truly he doesn't want to go back to government house. Now, if he doesn't want to go back to government house, he should not keep the Rivers people in suspense. If you were him, put a letter and resign, whatever weight is done, and pass it on. Go and live your life. Let those who are politicians play politics in Rivers State, and then bring that peace you are looking for. to the people.
Right. Let's move away from Rivers State and let's turn to your party, the PDP. I mean, how daunting do you find the latest developments there with Nyesom Wike constantly drawn into the political equation in the PDP whilst also straddling the APC?
Nyesom Wike is not struggling in the APC.
No, straddling.
Struggling.
Straddling.
Yes. He's not. Nyesom Wike
How do you mean
is still
he's
a
not?
member of PDP. He's still a bona fide member of PDP. I'm sure yesterday you saw him when they had a series of meetings. He was in the meeting. If he was not a member of PDP, Nyesom Wike will have just moved out. After all, he's a minister under political party government. So what is wrong? Where he is accepted, is received. So why will he be wasting his time with a PDP that is shooting themselves on their foot? So all what he's trying to do, even today in the press interview, he's just giving them what to do to survive the party, to revive the party. That's what he's doing. So in short, for me, I told him today that, look, we are giving them expo. Since they don't want to listen, why are you going to give them expo? He said, because that is the party that's giving him so many platforms, from local government council chairman to when he was a chief of staff in government house, to when he became a minister of state, to governor of Rivers State, and now again, it is PDP that exposed him to become a minister in this.
Yeah, he gave him the opportunity.
Yes, this administration. So he cannot just sit somewhere and see a child that a mother that brought you up this much, and then she's in coma, she's dying. You need to go in and give her some helping hand. That is what Nyesom Wike is doing.
Well,
so
I mean,
I don't see him as a member of APC. I am with him. We are going. If he's going to move to APC, I will join him to go to APC. But I'm a PDP member now. I'm not going to anywhere, and I've not even planned to go to anywhere yet.
Right, but obviously the concern is whether or not his continued presence in the PDP is making the whole thing look a little bit schizophrenic, whilst his loyalties seem to lie with the APC.
No, his loyalty lies to the president. The president is not APC.
Yeah, yes, the president leads the APC.
Yes, but the president is not APC. The president leads the APC. The president appointed him a minister of the Federal Republic. Before he accepted the ministerial position, he wrote to his ward, the state, the zone, and even the national party. They agreed for him to accept the nomination. So he accepted. So it's not something he did behind them. It is something on our approval that he accepted. And if he accepts to serve under somebody, you are part of the government. You have to make things to work. And that is why, of course, he's a workaholic person. That is why you see him work day and night and turning things around for us in Abuja. It does not matter whether he's a PDP man, he's a APC man, but he's a minister of the Federal Republic. And his portfolio is Abuja. And all of us that he's doing his work well in Abuja. So for me, that is more important than for us to say, okay, why is he still going into... Okay, if he's not a member of PDP, why are they allowing him to join them in their meetings? Or why did they even invite him?
That's a good point. He said earlier, though, that the PDP should not make the same mistake it made in 2023 and should correctly zone the presidency to the south in 2027. The implication being that failure to do this would deal a further blow to the party. Do you agree with his assessment?
Yes, I agree. You see, I agree because for now, we have a president from the south. That was the battle he fought in 2023. He said, look, let's leave this thing in the south. PDP refused and did what he did. He told them publicly. He didn't, he was not hiding. He said, look, if you don't do so, this is the way I'm going to do. I want a southerner. We all have this country. I want a southerner to become the president. So among the southern persons, this is the person I think can win the election. So he joined work for Tinubu, and Tinubu succeeded. Now he's still telling them again, see, if you want to succeed, don't zone it to the north. Zone it to the south. Let it be that only southerners are struggling for it. In the next round of election, what he's trying to create is this. Maybe APC will now zone 2. The north. PDP 2 might likely zone 2. The north. So at every point in time, when zoning are being made, they will come from one part of the country. It will be much more easier to make choices among people from the same area and cast your vote.
And obviously you find nuggets of truth in the point that he's making, which is that the PDP's problems have, come about by not adhering to that sense of principle and justice.
Yes.
And he kept emphasizing the issue of justice,
yes.
which should have been the watchword of the party.
Yes, and the party is not listening to him. And that was why he repeated saying the same thing this morning. So if they listen and adhere to him and they take what he's saying, it is for our own good. It is for the good of the party. But if they don't do it, and see if zone to the north, see, it is difficult to remove a sitting president, to remove a sitting governor. Very difficult. Like we have come to realize it. It is not senatorial seat. It is not House of Reps. It is not council chairmanship. The president of a country who was fought by his own party. Because of him, many different policies were brought in during the election period. Against all such odds, Tinubu emerged victorious and won. Do you think that now he's on his seat, that he can just easily remove him? He can't easily remove him. Just that we cannot say, okay, I think some people might contest. Otherwise, it will just be like a game for only one man. Otherwise, it will be difficult to now sponsor somebody from the north. It will be a real battle. Tinubu will still win.
What's the point of having your party, the PDP? I mean, you're a leading member of the PDP. Yes. I mean, you're sitting here speaking on behalf of the leader of a party that, for all intents and purposes, one expects you to be in opposition to.
If the opposition will come from the leadership of my party, if my party leadership cannot play the opposition, what will I do? I'm not secretary. I'm not the national chairman. I'm not national organizing secretary. I'm not chairman of board of trustees. I am not. These directives from them, the way they manage the party, is what come down to us.
Yeah, but do you think
we run with it?
Do you think that for somebody like yourself who attained the position of a senator under the PDP, yes, don't you think you'd be more credible if you were seen to be focusing on trying to reform your own party rather than, because of the problem in your party, ceding your support to the leader of another party?
My brother, because of the multifaceted problems, many of our members are discouraged. That is the truth. Look at, for instance, what is happening. You want to remove the national secretary. Constitutionally, you cannot remove him. He was elected in the convention. So you can't just remove him and bring somebody to replace him. Now, this struggling of what are not even relevant, if we remove him, for instance, we will endorse documents that will be sent to INEC or other such important places. He cannot use an acting secretary. The secretary is not dead, he's alive. So when the leadership does not understand these simple principles, these simple provisions from our constitution, what do? And that is what Nyesom is doing it, and they are not listening to him. They disagree with him, but every day he's telling them how to reform the party. And whatever he is saying there and he's doing there, those of us who are following him, we are completely with him. It doesn't matter whether we are PDP or we are PDP, we are reforming now. Not all of us will talk at the same time. Assuming they ask me to go and address the PDP chieftains, the leadership, I'm going to address them and tell them the fault they're making. Unfortunately, I wasn't the former governor and I was not the present governor. So when they call such meetings, I wouldn't have the opportunity of going. I mean, always say mine through my leader, Nyesom Wike.
And when you look at what has happened in your state, Rivers, and what is happening in your party, the PDP, the instability that is clearly there for all to see, is there a growing sense of the powerful mystique that Nyesom Wike appears to have and the political potential of it and how strong it is?
How strong what is?
That political mystique that he appears to have, in the sense that he seems able to wield considerable influence over river states and make things happen that appear to the public to support his own side of things. And then what we're also seeing, his continued presence in the PDP, when many allege that he's guilty of anti-party activities.
You see, when you say somebody is very strong, yes, Nyesom is strong. Nyesom is strong because he's working with the entire political cream, the followership, strong followership, political strategists. Can I mention their names? Virtually all of them are working with him. And if all of you are working with him and declare him your leader, that is it. That is it. Including Sim. He brought him, and his followership voted him in. So, Nyesom Wike wielding power in River State. I don't think we have to trouble ourselves on it. It is so, and it's going to be so. But Nyesom Wike is still in PDP. PDP in River State is still very strong. Despite what we are seeing on television.
And he still controls a lot of the levers of power in both River State and the PDP, even though so many people in River State and the PDP continue to denounce him and hold him responsible for the crisis.
Which crisis?
Well, there is no crisis.
No, I don't know the crisis. The crisis between political parties or crisis between SIM and
well, there are two crises.
Yeah.
There's one within the PDP.
Yes.
And the other crisis. No, the PDP in general.
No, we are talking about this one.
No, I'm talking about both. And then there is the crisis within River State.
Now, there is no PDP crisis in River State. PDP in River State is calm. I know that many in the APC party, yes, is working in their government. So he cannot isolate them, he cannot push them away from himself because he is working in their government. And therefore, they too will not do anything that will cause crisis in River State.
Yeah, but do you hold him, if not fully, at least partly responsible for tipping River State into crisis?
Through who? Is it through the governor and himself, or through, because there's no political crisis. There is crisis in governance, no political crisis. And that is what we discussed already. Since there is no political crisis, I will not hold him responsible for anything.
You don't think the state was tipped into political crisis as a result of the problem between himself and Sim Fubara, and the fact that your state is now in a state of emergency?
That crisis.
And that obviously is a grave infliction on the people of River State. And it's even raised constitutional questions about the suspension of the governor, the suspension of the State House of Assembly. You don't think those things are a crisis?
No, those things were crisis. That was what, at the end of the day, the Supreme Court settled. Unfortunately, the governor was not ready to implement the judgment of the Supreme Court. I am not saying that there are no crises, but the Supreme Court, at the end of the day, what ought to be a political solution went through the court. When Mr. President called them, for instance, and advised them on political solution, if the governor has abided by the dictate of the president, we will not reach this point. But he did not. When he went to, he accepted it for the first time. After a few days, he came and denounces that it's not a political solution, it's not a constitutional solution. And since he says it's not a constitutional solution, those other people who are fighting with you are also saying the same thing. The crisis will continue. Now, if the governor, who is the governor that need to get peace, is not able to generate or make peace in his own state, how do we transfer same to Nyesom Wike that is the one causing the crisis? If I'm the governor of the state, I'm the chief security officer of the state, I will make sure that my state is peaceful in whatever way I could. Now, if he cannot do that one, why are you transferring to somebody who was a former governor from that place that is the one causing the crisis? I don't think we are fair to Nyesom Wike. I don't think we are fair to him. If we are fair to him, we will not blame him. We will blame Fubara to take charge of his state, of the state, and do what is feasible. For instance, we thank God that the president declared the state of emergency. We thank God. We are not from River State. What will have happened to, not just to River State, to Nigeria, will be something else.
Right.
There will be real crisis. There were so many security reports of people acquiring arms to fight and all that. Assuming the House of Assembly had impeached him, there will have been bloodshed. Some of us, our names are penned down. We are aware of it. And we are not expecting Mr. President to declare some emergency there. So the day he did it, I was happy. At least we bring some calm. The place is very calm now, it's very peaceful. Now, if you are somebody who is actually looking for peace in the state, you are in this kind of limbo and crisis, and you are looking for peace. Just about 3 days ago, there was a program that was organized, maybe when he was governor, and it didn't take place. It took place a few days ago. Mr. President's wife went there for an empowerment program.
Yes, I was going to ask you
for
about
over
that.
500 persons.
Yeah.
Supporters of SIM, what was their name that you are sent for that? The names were sent before. So they came with uniform, with pictures on their clothes, and then walked out on the president's wife.
No, they didn't walk out on the president's wife. They clarified that issue. They did not walk out.
We saw them now.
They didn't walk out on the president's wife. They
when
clarified that issue, so
flag,
that's not a fair thing to say.
No, sir. When they carry flag, we believe that people, they come to another party. We watch them on the screen. It's in my phone.
They did not walk out on the president's wife. They made that very clear.
And then they went out.
Yeah.
And we are looking for peace. If you are looking for peace, you are trying to negotiate with people how you come by the peace. You are not going to do anything that is negative.
Yeah, they did not walk out. That's not a fair statement to make.
They walked out.
They didn't walk out on the president's wife.
Were your cameramen there?
They walked out. We saw the footage. We saw everything. Mm-hmm. And we spoke to them subsequently. And they made it very clear that they did not walk out on that. They walked out on the fact that they thought that the wife of the administrator was coming to address them. And they felt that she was not the legitimate person to address.
And that was why they walked out.
Yeah, it had nothing to do with the first.
Is that why they walked out?
They made that very clear.
That was why they walked out.
But let's leave it there. I mean, okay. I want to thank you very much indeed, Senator Sekibo, for coming in. He represented Rivers East Senatorial District in the National Assembly, and he is a leading member of the PDP. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you.